Hallmark Sports Club 2 here in Maryville, Indiana, 8328 Colorado Street. We are just south of the intersection of Colorado and Route 30 here down the street from the Sports Authority. We will be here until 8 o'clock tonight, 9 o'clock tonight, as we go through Northwest Indiana boys and girls soccer. Later on in the program, we will have Calumet College of St. Joseph's back on with us as well, and they will talk about the program. Coach Olson will be back with us here. Again, thanks to Tara Ellis along with Nick Schultz for coming on board. But right now, we're not messing around with this second segment because we are going to bring on the defending Class 2A state champions from the Hub City in Crown Point, Indiana, and bring on Mike Bazin. And, Coach, congratulations on a dream season last year, and the off-season has certainly had its share of recognition as well from a national standpoint.
Absolutely, Mike. Thanks for having us on. It was a great run last year, and I made the joke with our parents in the off-season. It's just like it's a revolving door of just awards and accolades that we got. So it's just been an amazing experience.
Got a chance to see at the basketball game, and they had the National Guard that recognized Crown Point for being ranked number 8 in the country by Max Preps, and ranking over 14,000 high school boys soccer teams, and to be 8th on that list. What a phenomenal accomplishment. Touch base on the growth of the program. Of course, JR did such a great job laying the roots, and then you come in and just take the program to another level.
Yeah, absolutely. In the past, at least 7 years, this will be my 8th year with the program, we've just seen a phenomenal number of kids come through our program, and then also matched with the talent that we've had come to our program as well. And obviously those are two really good problems to have. And so we had that experience and that success that we had in 2011, followed by a fantastic season in 2012, and then finally, coming back with a core group of those guys in 2013, and quite frankly, we've got a bunch of guys back this year, and we'll be looking for a lot of success as well this season.
How was it playing for Danny and learning from him, from a Hall of Famer, and give us an idea of maybe some of the other mentors that you looked up to that have helped you develop your style as a head coach?
Absolutely. I was actually down in Indy when it was inducted to the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame, and just a guy that's been around the sport and loves the game. I think that's something that everybody recognizes, that guy, Coach just loves this game, and he will always have a part in soccer in Northwest Indiana and with as far as the state, and just the passion he brought, the expectation level that he brought, the idea that every single game you go into is a target on your back. It doesn't matter what group of guys you have at Valpo, and now the reputation we've developed at Crown Point. Guys want to knock you off, and if it's 0-0 at halftime in some situations, that's awesome, from another program's perspective. So I think that's something that I've always remembered, and I've tried to make sure that our kids remember as well, that, listen, with the success that we've had, we're going to have that target on our backs.
There's no question about that, especially in the Duneland Athletic Conference. And, Mike, the cupboard obviously is not bare, but certainly there's some big teacups to fill in that particular situation, because you got your 3 leading scorers that have moved on and graduated. And the thing about those kids is obviously we knew the talent level was there, but those intangibles, the leadership and showing by example, and I'd like you to touch base on that, because those are things that make championship teams.
Absolutely. From a leadership perspective, people like Carmelo and Bay and Stoyan and Spasse. I mean, geez, that's covering the range of our field in that situation, right. Forwards, midfield, and defense. And so, something that definitely carried us throughout the postseason last year, and something that I think has been instilled in some of these guys I've got right here, that they're gonna fill those shoes for sure from a leadership perspective, and I don't see us skipping a beat as far as the quality of talent that we have.
Well, the obvious concern, you've got the two linchpins here in the back line defensively, but who's going to tickle the onion sack? That's the key here. So what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Our goalie here, Connor Keaveney, was a sophomore last year. He's going to be a junior. Eric is going to be a senior this year, next to Mikey Tanchevsky and a couple of other guys are going to step up at defense. Midfielders, I think we're going to see a lot of goals coming off of set pieces and a lot of goals coming out of our midfield. Whoever we have step up at the forward spot, those are huge shoes to fill when you're talking about our three top goal scorers. And so I think what we're going to see this year is hopefully those goals are kind of spread throughout our team, not necessarily concentrated by a couple of guys knocking in. I hope it's a team aspect as far as goal scored is concerned.
Connor Keaveney is going to join us here right now, the junior with a 3.75 GPA, all-conference performer. And Connor, discuss the run. Obviously, the last couple of years, you had a chance, first of all, as a freshman to watch that and then to actually be involved with it, and that progression and how you were able to learn as a younger soccer player and then eventually put that into practice on the pitch.
Right. Well, freshman year we had a great talent level for going into my freshman season, and we were expecting big things. And that defeat in regionals, it really, 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 it was like a shock to our system. And as a freshman, you learn that you can't take any game for granted or any practice for granted, so that for example, the next season that we came, every practice was treated as a game situation, and that you were humbleized very strongly.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And as you talked about just that experience of going through that, and what was it like being a sophomore down in Indianapolis playing in a state championship game? That's just got to be like, whoa.
Well, it was unbelievable. That you have 2 more years under that, just that experience as a sophomore. You can bring that to your team for the next 2 years. You're familiar now with the pressure that is involved with those high-level games, and yeah.
Just going through that situation. We're going to bring on Eric Exton right now as well. And Eric, part of that defensive core, 9 goals against last year for you guys. I know that's something you guys were proud of in that back line. And talk about the 2 seniors as well as Michael back there and being that quartet that did such a great job in front of Connor.
It was a great group of guys. I know coming in my freshman year, I played under guys like Tony Zervos and even Spasse too. I looked up to them, and it was a very tight-knit group last year. I know for sure. We had pride in ourselves, even Connor too. Just we weren't very glamorous. We don't score goals, but our job, we still have a job, and as a team, we tried. See if we can get clean sheet every game, and by doing that, we can help our teammates out and do our part. And we prided ourselves in those 9 goals that we let up.
How big of a motivational factor was the loss to Lake Central the year before in helping you guys propel you back to Indy?
I know it was a heartbreak, and like Connor said, there was a degree of motivation that everyone felt. Compared to my freshman year, winning state and having so much expectation the next year, and then have it cut short like that, it motivated the heck out of us. And I know every game, our first game, I knew it. We talked about it, and we knew something special was going to have to happen. And we worked every practice, every game was one small step into coming back into it, and we performed.
Well, you're one of those rare breeds because you're a defensive guy that can put the ball in the net. And I know you like those set pieces, so talk about the feeling that you get when you get a chance to move up there and take off the defensive hat and have some fun.
Just going back to, as a defender, we never score goals, and it doesn't do well for our stats. We're the stop goals, and if I have a chance to get up, I know this is my only chance at doing something in a game that other people can actually see, and I had to make the most of it, and I try to do what I can do.
Unsung heroes back there, right?
Yeah.
Guys that do all the dirty work, no doubt about that. Well, the schedule again, Coach, obviously very challenging. You start off with Lake Central. You've got the Pike Red Devils on the dais here. Now that's an invite down in Marion County, right? Where you guys are going to be going down there. I understand there's some other Northwest Indiana schools that are going to be down there as well.
Munster will play there as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Who any other Marion County teams down there, or is everybody?
I think we're playing Pike for sure, and in Hamilton Southeastern. I think Zionsville's at that tournament. They've got a academy from Chicago, Lake Forest Academy as well. Going to be down there to play. A
lot of weak sisters down there, huh? Boy, oh boy. Well, it's going to get you ready for the tournament, no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
Thanks again, Mike.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Mike.
Everything. Guys, thanks again. Congratulations, state champions in the state of Indiana in Class 2A, the Crown Point Bulldogs. Thanks again for them coming out and giving us a preview for the new season. Calumet College of St. Joseph is your university of choice and the region home for Crimson Wave athletics, men's and women's soccer, cross-country, volleyball, and CCSJ's nationally ranked bowling teams will be in full action during the fall season. Follow all 18 Crimson Wave teams year-round by going to www.crimsonwaveathletics.com. And you can check out all the, I'm going to grab that. Oh, that's yours. Okay. Let me get those from the guys over here. And we're going to bring on the Bishop Knoll Warriors right now. I want to thank them. Thanks a lot, Gabe. Appreciate it. And, again, thanks very much to everybody. Also, again, we're trying to give away those Chicago Fire tickets right now. We got 4 tickets. I still have not gotten the coach from the Fire. So give us the name of the coach of the Chicago Fire, 219-746-1070. We have 4 tickets for the game on August the 30th against FC Dallas. We've also got 4 more game tickets to give away as well. And don't miss your chance to get your fix of live Major League Soccer this year. Chicago Fire Soccer Club has just 6 home games remaining in the 2014 season. See the men in red take on Thierry Henry and Tim Cahill's New York Red Bulls tomorrow, August the 10th, or FC Dallas on Saturday, August the 30th. Tickets are available by calling 888-MLS-FIRE or online at chicago-fire.com. The Chicago Fire live at Toyota Park in Bridgeview, and Chicago Fire is Chicago Soccer. Chicago Soccer is Chicago Fire. Armando Garza, the head coach of the Bishop Knoll Warriors, is going to join us here. And, Coach, thanks for taking the time and coming on board and give us an idea of how the summer is going for you and the Warriors.
Thanks for inviting us. So far, we look pretty good. We've had a couple of injuries already, and hopefully they'll heal up by the middle of the season.
You know, I was going to talk to you about, you got a new year and possibly better luck as far as the injury situation, but the bug bites again, huh?
Yeah, I have 2 incoming freshmen that tore their ACL with their clubs, and then 1 senior that just broke his collarbone.
Man. Well, I know that it's little consolation, but last year you moved a lot of kids around into different positions. I'm looking at my depth chart here from the Andrean game, and, you know, you were moving guys here and moving guys there just to try to patch things up. So I guess you're used to it.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a panic mode because certain players, I had a lot of young players and just moving around trying to get them to fit well. Some of them it worked. I mean, for other games it didn't work out.
Yeah, and of course you guys play such a terrific schedule during the year, and 9-7-1 on the season, 5-2 in the conference. And I was visiting earlier with some of the players and kids from the Northwest Indiana Soccer Conference, from the other schools that play in the conference, and I'd like you to touch base on that conference. It seems to have been a positive things for you guys in the soccer program over at BNI.
Yes, there's quite a few teams that are improving as we're going along. You know, we can't take Wheeler or Boone Grove or some of those schools for granted. They're just getting better as they're going along. There are a lot of young kids coming up with a lot of soccer in them.
Yeah, Marquette's also.
Marquette's another one.
Then another school, Covenant Christian, is another program that continues to grow. And as you look at the losses from last year with Aaron Garza along with Alex Hernandez, Brandon Wade, a terrific sweeper for you, and Ryan Clossy, who was kind of a versatile player you can put in there. What did you lose from them, not only from a talent standpoint, but also leadership role on this team?
From Aaron, I had an opportunity with him. I had a kid that can set plays, he could get the corner pretty well. With Brandon, he gelled the defense together. It was a young defense, and he managed to keep it together throughout the season. I lost one kid, Alex Hernandez, who will be going to, he was an incoming freshman. We called him the man-child. The kid was nice, talented. He's going to he leaves Monday to Minnesota. What was the name of that?
The Minnesota Static.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's going there. He leaves Monday. So that was probably a big hurt this year.
Yeah, that's a situation there where you want to have the best thing, obviously, for the kid. It hurts your program, but you also got a couple other kids here, and Aaron and Brandon, that move on to the next level in college as well. I'm assuming they're both going to play at that level, or are they just going to go as students?
Aaron's going to play football.
Oh, terrific!
He's kicking. He's kicking for the school over there.
For Concordia, okay.
And you couldn't go wrong with what they were offering for him to kick compared to soccer.
Sure.
Soccer coach wants him, but he can't play both.
So besides the student athletes that you brought out here today, who else has been opening your eyes in the training camp so far?
I have two young kids, Sergio Marquez and Alex Romo. Alex Romo is a versatile kid, keeper, sweeper, forward. Both kids are pretty smart, excellent skills, and they blend in pretty well with the varsity kids.
Well, let's bring on the student athletes now. Nathan Payak is going to join us here. He's a senior doing a great job in the classroom at 3.9. All honor and all AP courses. Nathan, discussed last year, obviously, a lot of changes that you guys had to adapt as you moved on because of changes in the lineup. And how do you think that's going to make you and your teammates stronger this year?
Well, last year we had a lot of changes. A lot of different players play a lot of different positions. That's going to help us this year. With injuries, like our coach said, already happening, we're going to have different players at different spots, filling in different roles. I myself broke my leg last year.
I'm looking against Crown Point, right?
Yes, sir. So we're hoping to stay healthy, and we're going to keep battling each and every day.
How are you doing health-wise, and how has your conditioning been coming back from that devastating injury?
Early June was really rough. I was struggling running, but I definitely picked up the pace, and I'm looking at full recovery.
Terrific. That's great news, Nathan. And let's bring on Eric as well. He's going to join us here, another one of the senior leaders on this team, multiple sport athlete, playing not only soccer but football, basketball, track, and field. Most improved soccer player during the season. And Eric, what do you feel like you improved on the most to get that accolade from your teammates?
Really, I feel that what helped me the most was the communication on the field. I knew that with it being my first year starter on varsity, I had to step my game up and everything, and I just put 110% into everything I do, and just help the team out the best I can, really. Now,
you're involved in a lot of different things here with the campus ministry, Rotary Youth Leadership Administration, as well as the Multicultural Club. How are those things helping you to maybe take your mind off the game and the pressure of what you have to do on the pitch as well as in the classroom at BNI?
It just helps me relieve my stress a lot, get away from all the hard work and everything. At the end of the day, you can just give to relax. Some days, I might take a day off of practice to go and do those other events, but in the end, it's, I don't know how you would say it, but soccer and then everything else. So obviously academics is important as well, but it would go academics, soccer, and then all the extracurricular activities.
Keeping things in proper perspective, That's for sure. We're going to bring on one of the top players in Northwest Indiana coming back this season, and that's Gabriel Aguiano is going to join us. And Gabe doing a great job in the classroom as well. And how difficult was it going through all those injuries to your teammates last year, Gabe, and knowing that you guys weren't at your top peak performance as far as your 11 on the pitch?
It was pretty difficult coming into the season early. We set a goal in the beginning that was state. Then some tables turned and we got some injuries we weren't expecting, so that didn't go as planned. So we had to move some new kids around, some young guys around, and they had get their feet wet. So that wasn't as planned.
double-digit goal scorer again, as well as distributing the ball up there at striker for Coach. And what's it like being the marked man up there in the offensive third and having to deal not only with trying to get your teammates involved, but also keeping some of those pesky stoppers off your back?
It's definitely extra weight on my back since I'm not the tallest player out there. But it helps me get my players involved since I know I'm being marked. So I like to give the ball around, move the ball around, getting my leadership up there at the forward position.
I know that you guys wanted to go farther in the postseason tournament, and of course you got that big game with Andrean before then, but how difficult is it playing a tough game like that in a rivalry with Andrean late in the season prior to the playoffs?
Oh, it's definitely something special. It's a special feeling before the game during school, knowing that game's at the end of the day. I get excited. I like the pressure. So hopefully the young guys they've seen the pressure before the game, so they can use that for motivation.
Who are some of the teammates that can help you possibly take some pressure off you this year offensively?
Our senior Alex Avalos, he's the one that just broke his collarbone. He's looking pretty good. Hopefully when he comes back, he'll help out up top with goal scoring, and that'll do pretty good.
Gabe, thanks very much for taking the
Thank
time.
you very
We
much.
Appreciate it. Armando, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll
Appreciate
get that Andrean game on again. And thanks for bringing the student-athletes out and for being such a great ambassador for the sport here in Northwest Indiana.
You've helped us out a lot. Take care. Thank you for everything.
Armando Garza joining us here at Hallmark Sports Club 2. Thanks again, guys, for taking the time. Appreciate the questionnaire as well, Coach, and we'll see you down the road. Armando Garza and the Bishop Knoll Warriors have been our guest here at Hallmark Sports Club 2. Again, we're still waiting for the trivia answer on that question of the coach from the Chicago Fire. And let's see if do we have a winner yet? Well, let's see. Let's take a look here and see. 219-746-1070. I got a couple texts here. And, okay, yes, we do have a winner. Kathy Pooch has got the tickets for the game tomorrow. So, Kathy, we're going to have to get together with you somehow. I see you're in St. John. If you're watching, if you want to stop by, and, well, actually, I got to get your information over the Fire. You're going to have to go to Will Call to pick those up tomorrow since we have such a quick turnaround. So she answered correctly with Harry Shipp, who's the former Fighting Irish from Notre Dame, who ended up picking up the tickets there for the game coming up tomorrow over at Toyota Park. And the other question that we had for the 4 tickets on August the 30th against FC Dallas, who is the coach of the Chicago Fire? We're keeping it real simple here. Who is the coach of the Chicago Fire? Give us a call at 219-746-1070. We're going to bring on Jim Schmidt right now, the head coach of the Hebron Hawks. And, Coach, how's the summer been treating you?
Oh, pretty good. We had our usual summer program this year. Being a small school, all the girls play so many different sports. It's difficult to get a bunch of them together. But I was pleasantly surprised with how our summer went.
How difficult is that for the different coaches and the different sports at Hebron High School, sharing athletes, and the kids may not get the specialization that you would like them to get because of the fact that they may be practicing with another team?
Oh, yeah, you're completely right. You get very few specialized athletes, so but you got to realize at the same time that being in a small school, you have to share athletes for all the programs to have any chance of success whatsoever. So you just got to be patient, and at times, of course, you want to be selfish, but in the end, you definitely have to be patient.
How's the Northwest Indiana Soccer Conference been for Hebron High School, being involved in that conference affiliation and giving these student athletes something to shoot for as far as postseason conference honors is concerned?
Well, I mean, we're also in the PCC now also.
Right.
But at first we were in the Northwest Indiana Soccer Conference, which was a big step forward for us because before we really we really didn't have anything to play for, and that was before a class sectionals.
Right.
So, we know how sectionals were back then. We usually drew Valpo or some big school, but it gave us something to play for. We've been around the middle most of the time in the conference, and it's a very competitive conference for us, and there's some really good teams in the conference. So It definitely gave us a sense of purpose, I would say.
Now this is the first year for girls on the PCC area.
This is the second
year. Okay.
And I'm glad to say we won the first year. So
defending conference champions.
Defending conference champions.
What's it been like having Richard now as an assistant coach, a guy that Richard Botts, who obviously the Botts name very synonymous with Hebron soccer?
Oh, sure, yeah. Richie is a great help, brings a lot of good knowledge. He works with some of the kids in the off seasons and travel on various travel teams. Which I'm limited in what I can do, but it helps me immensely.
The losses, obviously, of Rachel and Jenna are going to be big shoes to fill. What were some of not only the on-field, but the intangibles that those two student athletes brought that you're going to miss on this year's team?
Oh, Rachel was just a natural leader. I mean, she really was our leader on the team last year. The girls really looked up to her, and she was also a very coachable player. And the same thing with Jenna. Two very coachable players. I wish I had more in that class other than just the two. But, I mean, if I had two, I just couldn't ask for two more quality young athletes.
Now, besides Darren Torres, along with Katie Vaughn, you've got some other athletes that are going to step up in the PCC this year, and obviously things are in good hands between the pipes with Shelby King.
Yes. Although we're kind of hoping to move Shelby out of the goal this year, and actually Katie here, we're hoping that she's able to shoulder most of the goalkeeping duties this year. Unfortunately, Jewel Elam is getting ACL surgery, so that was a definite loss for this season. And she's not going to be able to play basketball probably this year either.
I'm sorry to hear that, Coach. That's a double whammy for her, obviously.
Yes. And she most likely would have been PCC All-Conference in both, I would imagine. So,
some big shoes to fill there, that's for sure.
Yes. So now we're, shuffling the team around to fill that hole.
Well, speaking of shuffling the team around, Katie is going to join us right now. And Katie, your thoughts about moving between the pipes right now and being the last line of defense for Coach Schmidt?
Well, I've definitely been looking forward to this year. Last year we were PCC champs, and we're looking forward to carrying that on this year and carrying the tradition and hopefully keeping that up for as long as we can.
Have you had previous experience in goal? And if so, what have you learned from those experiences? And the main thing, obviously, with the player between the pipes is when do I come out? When do I stay back? How do I work with my sweeper and stopper to make all that fit together?
Absolutely. I've had experience the last 3 years. I started just training my sophomore year. I've played probably just a couple games that season. I've had a lot of training with Coach Richard Botts just my junior year last year, and this year I'm hopefully getting a lot more training for this year, and I've just learned a lot.
Well, obviously off the field you're just doing a terrific job in the community here with Habitat for Humanity, with doing a great job with helping the community. And Katie, talk about how important that is for you to give back and to help those that are less fortunate than yourself.
Well, you have to think about, I've been in this town for so long, and everyone in the community, we are so close. We are a small town, but we are so close. We are all like family. Everybody does things for each other, for the benefit of each other, and as young teenagers, we need to learn that, really, and just learn to give back because we have already been given so much.
And how is Darren here going to help you guys win soccer games this season?
Well,
put the broadcaster's hat on for you a little bit there.
Well, she is definitely a natural-born leader. I definitely love that about her. Out of us three seniors, she's definitely, I'd say, the leader out of us, and she definitely keeps the team organized.
Well, Darren, now being a senior on the team, a lot of the younger players are going to be looking up to you from a leadership standpoint. Are you comfortable in that role, and do you try to lead by example, or are you more of a vocal leader out there?
Honestly, it's more like both. I like to show them how, both due to communicate and how even off the field, like if they need help school-wise or having problems on the team, if you're like have drama with someone, it's good to show them that they have someone they can go to and they can talk to. And like my younger sister's a sophomore, so growing up with her also has like put me in that role to always try and be a role model for her.
Outstanding, Darren. And has Coach changed you around a little bit in the scheme of things because of all these misfortunes that you guys have had?
Yes. I've never really played defense, more positions. I've always been a midfield. I have been injured last season with a concussion, and I was sick, so I couldn't play as much. But this year, I'm really looking forward to stepping up, and possibly if I have to drop back because the missing of Jewel, I would gladly do that. If I have to go up to striker positions anytime, I'm willing to do that. I've played soccer since I was 5 years old, so
you know the drill, right?
Fine, yeah.
How difficult is that for you to come back from that kind of an injury? There's been so much in the media about coming back from concussions, and I would imagine the main thing is just getting over that trepidation of getting back out there with those 50-50 balls, right?
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking at first. Like I was nervous to head a ball, like anything.
Sure.
But after a while, I got more comfortable with it and really paid more attention. Like the concussion was kind of my fault thing. Wasn't really paying attention on the field. But now I feel more comfortable, and it was very scary. Personally, I didn't go to the doctor right away, putting me in a bad position. And so, I recommend now, if I see anyone having, symptoms or something, I'd be the first one to go to them and tell them, you need to go to the doctor and get that checked out.
Well, Coach, you got two terrific leaders here, both not only on the field but off the field as well, and continued success at Hebron High School, and stay healthy.
Thank you a lot.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Darren. Thanks, Katie, very much. Best of luck and congratulations on all your great work with the community as well. Certainly appreciate that, and we'll continue on with our Chicago Fire giveaways throughout the afternoon and the evening. Also, we want to thank our corporate partner again. That's Calumet College of St. Joseph's. It's your university of choice in the region home for Crimson Wave athletics, men's and women's soccer, cross country, volleyball, and CCSJ's nationally ranked bowling teams. They're going to be in full action during the fall season, following all 18 Crimson Wave athletic teams all year long. You can do that by going to the website at www.crimsonwaveathletics.com. We are going to bring on the Wheeler Bearcats right now, and we're going to bring on head coach David Bach. And David, great to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
And let's talk about how the summer's been going for you and the Bearcats. A lot of big shoes to fill on this team.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we're a young team, but as a result of that, a lot of these guys know that they have positions to step into, and that they're going to have to be a much bigger a player in our system, and a lot of them have stepped up. Our intensity has been really good, especially in the past couple of weeks. I think once we got going into the official practices in August, everything really got ramped up a little bit. Been happy with the efforts, and the good thing about our youth is that quite a few of our younger guys have big game experience coming into this year. So it'll be maybe a little bit more of an important role that they're taking on this year, but they have played in the big games already.
You talk about the youth of the team, and how important is it for them to see guys like Cam Four moving on to play for the Peregrines over at Purdue Calumet, and Ben Moritz going to the Thunder for Trine University, and Patrick Berg moving right down the road here, down 30, and playing for the Ancilla Chargers?
Well, I think that if anything, it'll motivate them, and Ben has actually been working out with us a lot of the summer and running and helping the guys out, so his presence has been felt, and I think it shows them what it takes to get to that level. I think it gives them a little bit of an extra edge to try to push on, and maybe for Cameron, the stats that he had last year, and Joey as well, these guys are going to want to equal, if not better, them, and that's something that they talk about is I want to get this many goals, or I want to have the same assists that Joe had last year, things like that.
Starting to get more comfortable now being in that head coaching role and dealing with all the administrative stuff, and now that you've gone through that first couple of years here, talk about that progress.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I think you're always learning. You're always, picking up some new things, how to handle, player management and things like that, how to motivate them and do things like that. I would say I never felt uncomfortable. I don't think that coming into it I was unprepared, but I would say that, each year you learn more, you pick up more, and, you get better, just like you would expect the guys to do.
The offense is obviously going to be the big factor here. I mean, you're looking at replacing one of the top goal scorers in Northwest Indiana, and Joey was such a great distributor, Joey DeSimone, with 17 goals and 13 assists. I know you don't replace those types of players, but let's take a look at offensively how maybe some of the other kids can pick up the slack for you.
Yeah, with Joey and Cameron, it'll probably be a little bit by committee. And Ben Morris really doesn't get enough credit for what he did for us last year. His stats don't reflect his influence on the team. He was kind of the heart and soul along with Joe. And I really think that, you don't try to replace those guys. You just try to do your best to find guys that are ready to step up into those roles and do their own thing. And I think the two gentlemen sitting next to me are going to be two important factors for us this year in stepping in and filling in those roles. As far as replacing Cameron, Brendan Melvin will be probably our biggest for scoring goals this year. But we've got a couple other guys that can also step in and do the job.
Besides Alex Asher and Danilo Orlich here, who's opened your eyes in the camp that you feel could really step up and help these guys to be able to win games for Wheeler High School?
We've got a couple of guys. I think in the back line, Andres Ruesta and Matt Cannon are both going to step in as sophomores and really do a nice job. With moving Alex up to the midfield, that's also something that we have to look at replacing is in the back, and both of them, I think, are prepared. They did a nice job together last year, and Andres played a lot of varsity last year already, so he'll be ready to go, and both of them have been good this summer. Brendan has really emerged into a little bit more of a vocal role this summer, and I think that he's holding himself to a really high standard. He's come in very fit, and it seems like he's ready to score a lot of goals. So.
Let's bring on the last line of defense right now, and that's Alex Asher, the junior, the central defender right in front of Patrick Berg. And Alex doing a great job in the classroom with that 4.3, a senior, second-team all-conference performer. And talk about the back line and how things are shaping up this season.
Well, with me moving up to the midfield, there's a few options in the back with, like Coach Bach said, Andres Uresta and Matt Cannon will likely be the two that really form that center-back partnership that's really important. And, Danilo and I will be that cover in front and hopefully keep them organized.
And the loss of Patrick back there, obviously some big shoes to fill between the pipes. How do you see things shaping up over there in the back line?
Well, Ryan Ruane, he'll be our new goalkeeper, and he's looked really good this summer overall. Like, he's made great strides, and I feel pretty confident with him back there.
How's it been going through this program and now being a senior, seeing the progress that Coach Bach has brought, the work ethic, the success that you guys have had in not only the NWISC but also in the postseason as well?
Well, when my first year here, we had never won a sectional. So, my freshman year, we won our first sectional, and once Bach got here, we won, 2 more, and now it's to the point where, sectionals become almost an expectation more than, we want to go farther. It's I don't know.
What fill in the blank on this one? It'll be a successful season for the Bearcats if?
Well, we definitely want to capture that 4th sectional and hopefully make a run in the regional.
There you go. No doubt about that. And terrific job, Alex. We're going to bring on Danilo Orlich right now as well. And Danilo, 3.9 in the classroom, doing a terrific job as well with some other activities. Freshman mentor, discuss that a little bit about what that involves and how important that is for you to kind of keep that balance.
So, there's obviously new freshmen coming in this year. And so basically just juniors get picked by the counselor to really just go in during our resource period and do some different activities with them to try and get them involved and stuff and get more comfortable with being in school.
Just making that transition, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Coach got you in the midfield on the outside, or is he going to be moving you around a little bit on the pitch, trying to figure out where your skill set fits the formation?
No, I think I'm going to be moving around. Definitely don't think I'm going to be playing outside. We have some other guys that are going to be able to fill that role this year a little bit more than we did last year. So I think he's going to move me probably into the center with Asher. Just see how that goes.
I was talking to some of the players before. How great has it been? This weather has just been unbelievable. You guys haven't had to worry about 90 degrees and 95% humidity out there. How cool is that been?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely been great. Definitely better than the first 2 years that I've had to practice in the summer with him. So
they don't run that much in the summer.
Yeah.
So what about you? What are some of the things that you're working on individually to help your skill set, maybe not only from a tactical standpoint, but also mentally as well?
I mean, I just am working with my touch and stuff on the ball and trying to get the ball off my foot and everything. But mentally, I'm trying to work on not being so hard on myself. I mean, that's definitely a big factor what I was last year, and he would tell me that not to be as hard on myself as I was. So I'm going to try and work on that this year. Just give myself a break.
With Joey and Cam now being gone as far as the offensive production, you talked about Brendan Melvin stepping up. Anybody else that you see beside yourself that can help you guys on the offensive side to get the offensive production back where you guys are expecting it?
Yeah, I definitely see Asher dishing out a lot of assists, and also I think we're going to be relying on Adam Hanley to be scoring some goals this year. I mean, he scored a few last year, but I definitely think he's going to be scoring a lot more this year.
Well, Coach, the schedule, as usual, is challenging. We got starting off at home against East Chicago, but then going on the road, taking on Kankakee Valley. Most of the top teams in the conference are at home with Marquette along with Bishop Knoll. So comment on the conference, how you see things shaping up in the NWISC.
I think one of the main things that we'll be focused on is last year at home, we lost to Highland and we lost to Boone Grove in penalty kicks, and other than that, we didn't have a loss. And so we talked last year about defending home, and now last year was a little bit more the non-conference big games were at home. This year, all of the big conference games are at home, and so especially with Marquette early on, we'll want to kind of set the tone there, knowing that they'll be in our sectional. And then if we have a good performance there, obviously that spurs us along to continue on in the conference and hopefully make a challenge for it, which is something that, despite having a real good team last year, we didn't do. So,
well, the one thing that really stands out for me, 5 consecutive road games, including 4 against conference opponents. That's a tough stretch there from September 13th. That's a week.
Yeah,
that's a week.
Yeah, but you know what it does is it makes us it prepares us for the postseason, and it'll be nice then, having gone on the road for that many in a row, to come home to our sectional. So
sure.
That'll be great.
David, thanks again for everything. We appreciate it. Hopefully get you on a couple times this season as we head down the road.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time. The Wheeler Bearcats have joined us here at the Hallmark Sports Club 2 in Maryville. Again, today's festivities are sponsored by Calumet College of St. Joseph. They have the lowest tuition of any private college in Indiana, offering traditional programs with flexible class schedules, accelerated programs to help adults earn their bachelor's degree in as little as 12 months, and master's programs specifically designed for working adults. Some classes are also offered at the University Center in Portage. Make CCSJ your university of choice. For more information, call 219-473-4215 or check out their website at www.ccsj.edu. We also want to thank the great folks over at J&J's Pizza Shack for supplying the food to the student-athletes out here today. And for great tasting pizza, you must try J&J's. They're located at 1454 West Lincoln Way. That's 1 mile west of the square in Valparaiso. They offer a variety of great tasting pizza, including their famous kitchen sink. Do you have pizza yesterday? Their menu also includes sandwiches, seafood, rib, chicken dinners, and salads. Dine-in, carry-out, and delivery is available in the local area. For delivery, give J&J's Pizza Shack a call at 476-1616. That's 476-1616. Same menu, still great taste. Wally Kudaba, the head coach of the Griffith Panthers, is going to join us. And, Coach, how's the preseason been treating you, and how are things looking for the Panthers?
Oh, it's been great so far. Great summer, nice weather, right? And looking forward to it.
Well, some big shoes to fill, as usual. Some kids that eventually got some looks at the next level for you, that they were having those looks during their senior season. Emily Duhan, your forward. Some great midfield play from Lauren Hernandez, along with Allie Kranak as well. Discuss, first of all, those particular players and what you're going to miss from them as you head into 2014.
Well, Yadi and Allie, it's hard to replace those caliber type of players, but I'm confident that our sophomore class and junior class will step in those spots. They're eager to do it. They actually take over those spots, and great competition amongst them. So we're looking forward.
How the numbers this year, and how's the youth program at Griffith? Give us a status update on that.
Well, that's our biggest factor right now. We are low on numbers. We may just carry actually partial JV team. Mm-hmm. So numbers are down, significantly down this year. Losing 8 seniors, graduating seniors, and getting 4 freshmen and coming in freshmen. That's a big blow to us, and again, we'll be shorthanded.
I think maybe, hopefully you get some later additions. Sometimes those happen, prior to school starting and stuff, so that's always a positive situation there. Big loss in between the pipes with Amy Bubala moving on. How's the competition shaping up in between the pipes for you?
Oh, I'm very excited about Bridget Beck stepping up, our sophomore. Great talent. Very exciting to see her play because she gave in to Amy last year, but this year she knows she's the starting keeper, and I'm looking forward to it.
How's her decision-making ability been as far as coming out, staying in? Those are always big factors for a young keeper, knowing to make those decisions during big parts of the game.
Oh, I'm confident. She reads the game well. She's very outspoken out there. I'm very confident that she'll do well.
Good vocal leader for you in the back.
Great player, good foot skills. So I'm very confident in her being a bit,
Besides Emily and Michelle here, who else do you see stepping up and making big plays for you to help you guys win soccer matches in a very tough Northwest Crossroads Conference?
Well, we have Michelle who played a little mid for us and a little on top. So
did very well last year, that's for sure.
There'll be some adjustments. Maybe moving Bella Maglish on a little bit midfield position for us. There'll be some adjustments and kind of still tweaking the lineups up a little bit, see who's going to fit it where. But we have great starting 11. Very exciting to start in the season.
Well, one of those starters is certainly going to be Michelle Beck, and kind of exploded on the scene last year as we were broadcasting some of the games, and we're talking up there like, who's this freshman coming in here running all over the place and doing great? And congratulations on a great freshman year, Michelle. And touch base on the adjustment of going to play as a freshman player in a varsity level. That's a big deal to be able to make that kind of adjustment from JV to varsity.
I mean, it's hard, but after a while, the team was really helpful. It helped you feel like a family out on the field. So it was easier with the people most of those players I played with for a really long time, and the seniors, they were really nice, and they helped me get over the nerves for the first couple games.
How important was it for you as a freshman to have those mentors like Emily and Lauren and Yadi and Allie and Amy to look up to see how they go about doing their business and trying to emulate them?
They're big sisters to me, and they taught me leadership and how to play with the seniors and the juniors and all those that I've never played with before.
And who have been some of your classmates or upperclassmen that you feel that really opened your eyes during the training camp that you feel are going to help you guys be very successful in what's a very tough conference in Northwest Crossroads Conference?
All the seniors and all the juniors and all my sophomore friends, they're honestly all mentors to me. They all help me out.
What are some of the things that you've been working on as far as skill sets in the offseason? You're a fast player. You've got great speed out there and really just an innate ability to be able to dribble the ball and keep your focus as you're moving up the field. But what are some of the other little things you're looking to tweak your game to become even a more complete player as a sophomore?
I try to work on my first touch and build up play with my other forwards and outside players and midfielders.
As you look at that schedule each year, is there a particular team that you kind of circle on the schedule and say, you know what, I want to do pretty good against this team today?
Not necessarily. I try to do good against all teams, but I'm really excited to play Holbert and
Highland is always a big game, right?
Highland and LC, really.
Battle of the Bridge, of course, and Lake Central, one of the perennial powerhouse team. We're going to bring on Emily Morrison here right now as well as she continues doing a great job with a 3.4 GPA and best mental attitude. Emily, let's touch base on that a little bit in track and how important that is for you to keep the not only the physical part of sports but the mental part in focus as well.
Yeah, mentally, that's what the entire game is. You know, you can't just be a physical player. You have to have the emotion for it and everything.
AP honors classes that you're taking as well. How have you been able to keep up with managing this young man's expectations and then also doing a great job in the classroom as well?
Well, for our team, homework is always first priority, homework in school. So, I mean, I'm able to get most of my work done, and then it's always practice and everything with that.
Has Coach penciled you in at a particular spot on the pitch yet, or is he looking for you to be flexible and kind of move where he needs him?
I don't know. I kind of think it's more of a defensive. I'm going to be more on the defensive side, but he kind of had me playing a lot of positions when we went and had a tournament, so he had me in different places there.
How's Bridget been doing back there between the pipes? Coach had some pretty high praise for her in the goalkeeper position.
She's very reliable. She's definitely a really great goalie, and she deserves to be where she is. She's also a really good field player, too, so if we need her.
Versatile, that's for sure. How do you feel now being a senior? It's got to be pretty cool to have gone through the program and seen all the changes, and now you've got some of those younger players in the same position that you were in just a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's really different being the senior because all my friends, all my closest friends are all, you know, the juniors and the sophomores, and so, I mean, our team is really close, and we're all really good friends, so we're all helping each other through everything.
What would make this year, your senior year, a success for Emily Morrison?
Probably sectionals, beating Highland. Probably that.
And that's always the goal for Wally. I know he wants to win a sectional championship, and I know that's something that Griffith has been right there on the cusp for having they coach and just haven't been able to quite get over the hump.
Yeah, well, we'll take one game at a time.
Yeah, that's a long way off. We're talking October, right. That's for sure. Right. Anybody else in camp, Emily, open your eyes up that you've seen that you're saying, wow, that's a pretty good performance by a younger player at this particular point of their career?
Well, we just had a new player from Mexico come in. Her name is Eva, and she's only practiced with us a few days so far, but she's got the skill, and she's definitely going to be up there. Other than that, the team pretty much all together works together really good, and I think it's going to be a good season.
Coach, give us your analysis of the NWCC. Who do you see being challenges to this Griffith team, and what are going to be some of the things you're going to be looking for, especially in the early part of the year?
Well, we all know that, our conference is a very tough conference, so right now, we just concentrate on our own team, and again, take a game at a time, but I'm looking forward to the season. Girls, working real hard, and pretty exciting.
Certainly helps out. The first three are at home, so that gives you the younger players a chance to kind of get comfortable a little bit, and then you go to Andrean, Wheeler, and Munster in a row right after that. So and then Lake Central as well. So
pretty diversified schedule, which I like. It's spread out to be not playing. I don't know how to say it, the weaker team, let's say, but you know how it is.
Right.
But start off the season with at home. It's get comfortable. We get a brand new field for us, so that's going to be different. Getting used to the field, playing surface,
right,
and all that. So
yeah, that's an exciting thing now for you guys over at the Panther Den.
Change pace for everyone, coming out our way, playing at home. So very excited, really. I'm very excited for this season.
Well, thanks very much to the Griffith One Goal Soccer Club for stepping up with you guys. We'll see you out there for sure on the pitch this year on WJOB and RRSN.com. Thanks a lot,
Thank
Wally.
you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate the time. Michelle Beck along with Emily Morrison joining us here for our Griffith Girls Soccer segment. We're going to keep it with the black and gold, and we're going to bring on, I believe we're going to bring on Ron Knestrick, and the boys team is going to join us as well. And before we do that, once again, want to come in with some more Griffith or Chicago Fire trivia. And we're still looking to give away those tickets for the game on the 30th of August. And we can do that at 219-746-1070. And we do have a winner. It's John Manis has got the tickets for the game coming up on the 30th of August. John, if you can do us a favor and text me at 219-746-1070 and let me know your address, and we will make sure that we get those tickets out to you for the August 30th game against FC Dallas. But we're going to bring on Ron Knestrick along with Matt Plawecki is going to join us as well, the former Crimson Wave. And Coach, nice having this guy over here on the sidelines with you, I'd imagine.
Having Matt around's a nice addition. It was a nice addition when he was part of the program, and he's a nice addition to the coaching staff.
Outstanding. What role do you see for him as far as on the overall scheme of things? Is he going to focus on the defensive end of things, the offensive end of things, or are you going to kind of mix and match things?
Yeah, kind of mix and match. Since he's got such talent and he's a whole bunch younger than I am, he can show the kids a lot. He's been part of the program. What he brings to the game is youth and excitement, and kids kind of like that.
Well, Matt, your thoughts on being on the sidelines now with a guy that's only won about 250 some games?
Yeah, it's a different perspective, a lot different than playing, obviously. So it takes some getting used to, but I'm doing okay with it. I like it a lot, having fun. So.
How have you had to adjust your thinking from the college end of things to high school, and maybe not lowering your expectations, but certainly adjusting them a little bit?
Yeah, it's definitely a different pace. It's a different mindset. Obviously, the talent is just, it's more talent in college. So trying to get the high school kids to develop into college players is the main thing. Obviously, we're looking for them to get into college, get players in the field, and get student athletes in college. So,
how neat is it for you to kind of pass on the Griffith tradition of soccer to these younger kids and being able to mentor them and kind of show them the ropes?
It's great. It's a lot of fun because we actually ran to Highland the other day, and I was telling them about my experience at beating Highland junior year when you guys were covering it, and so that was a lot of fun. It's good to bring back some memories of mine and share them with the younger kids.
Outstanding, Coach. And Coach Knestrick, a couple seniors gone from the top with David Schell along with George Hudashoes. Moving on, seniors, Carlos Tellez in the middle, as well as a couple players in the back. Talk about those graduations and who you see stepping up to possibly fill those roles for you.
On the front line, David Schell had good ball skills, and he was kind of like our go-to guy up front. We were hoping he'd get a few more goals last year. He did a real good job of controlling the ball and holding the ball, but putting it on the mark, it was kind of an off year for him. We were kind of disappointed. We had a lot of one-goal games where we could have used one goal off of David, and putting him up front worked out well for transition, but it didn't work out as well as we hoped for the scoring end of the game. George Hudashoes, when he was on, he was a good player, got a lot of energy. In the Munster game, he was outstanding, and then he was like a roller coaster ride for him. He had a year off, and then he came back, and he was really trying to figure out where he'd fit in. And by the end of the season, he was pretty well happy with where he was at, and done a nice job. He's a tough replacement. A little bit noisy at times, but he's going to be tough to replace. replacing him, we're probably looking at Noah Dubiak.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the noise end of the game in there, and
a vocal leader, right, Coach?
Yeah. So we can hopefully he'll stay a little bit more calm and a little bit more focused this year than he did last year, and he'll be kind of like playing with either one or two forwards. We haven't even decided yet because it's kind of been like a roller coaster ride this summer with a lot of young players, not a lot of older players that are really tuned in to what we want to do. We're still having a problem with them getting focused.
One of those kids that certainly is focused is Matt Pataki, your keeper, coming back as a senior this year, and a player that I know you have a lot of high hopes for.
Yeah, Matt's been pretty solid in goal, and he's a good-sized boy, and he's been working on a number of camps a number of different soccer camps, so he gets some technique because he's always been more than aggressive enough, and he's never been afraid to go one-on-one with anybody. So that's his problem has been more about not being so anxious, a little bit more patient, and a little bit more staying on the line. So we're pretty confident he's going to come up. I always look for the goalie to make one good save a game, so we're pretty confident he's going to be able to make one good save a game.
Is he a guy that you can possibly also bring up a little bit and help with some one-touch in the back four, or is he more of a stay-home kind of keeper? Are you going to be able to maybe increase his role a little bit to help with those situations when you need a little bit more spacing in the back third?
I think that's going not only in high school ball, but I think that's pretty much worldwide, where when the keeper, they took the hands away from them, that they have to be more skilled with their feet and being able to drop the ball back to him and be able to distribute the ball. Yeah, I think we're looking to do that, and we have confidence in him, but we still don't have the confidence that we should have with our field players as they come in.
And a couple of all-conference performers as well, Jordan Avalos along with Cesar Rodriguez, to really build around there, and a couple of young men that I'm sure you're really looking for big things from.
Yeah, we have between Jordan Avalos and Cesar and a couple of juniors, yeah, we have a good center core, and they played well together for a number of years. Then we're pretty solid. Hopefully we're pretty solid down the center of the field. Center of the field, we got cut up a few times by some of your better schools.
And that's obviously you got to start in the middle. Discuss a little bit about Eddie Land and Luke Pospachala. Those are two guys that I'm sure you're looking to fill that center mid role.
No, not really. Both of those boys are going to be on the outside of the field.
Okay.
We pushed them out because they are good runners and they have good outside speed. And we're looking for our outsides to make more forward runs than we have in the past. And our center guys are going to be more stay at home, control the field, pick the runners, and look for target guys. So we totally different look from what we had in the past because we have a totally different core group.
Introduce a young man here that's joined us on the set and your expectations for him.
This is Jordan Avalos. He's going to be one of our two center backs, and his role is to make sure everybody stays tight together and actually starts our offense from the backside of the field. So he's going to be looking at a major role in our game.
Jordan, how's it been playing with Matt back there? He's one of the top keepers coming back in Northwest Indiana, and how do you communicate with him now as you guys head into that senior year?
We communicate pretty good. We don't really need to talk to each other. We just know how each other play, and I can trust him behind me, and he trusts me.
Is Coach going to try to maybe get you to be a little bit more offensive-minded this season? And then how do you think that's going to fit into the overall game scheme of things?
I don't know. Our center midfielders do a really good job of pushing forward, which takes a lot off the center backs and the defense. So as long as they push up, I don't really have to worry about that.
Any particular team on that schedule, when you take a look at it, you want to maybe circle that name and say, I certainly want to do pretty well against this particular school community?
There's a couple of teams we want to do that to. Since we didn't have the best season last year, we want to make it up for this year.
I know that Coach wants that, that's for sure. And what's it been like having this guy involved in practice now for you?
It's been fun. Different coaching ability. It brings a new practice to the team. Everybody likes it, and hope to have a really good season with him.
What are going to be some of the things you're looking at to have a successful year this year, not only tactically but also from the all-important mental aspect of the game?
We want to have a lot of teamwork. We weren't too much of a team last year, and we really want to change that this year and be a family again.
Listen, thanks for making the effort to come out. Appreciate it. Jordan Avalos, Ron, we'll see you against Highland.
Right.
We'll be out there for that one.
Good to see you.
Okay, you too. We'll see you for the Battle of the Bridge coming up later on in August on WJOB 12:30 a.m. as the Griffith Panthers take on the Highland Trojans. And we're going to continue to move on here. We're at Hallmark Sports Club 2. It's your soccer home for the winter. Hallmark operates indoor soccer leagues for kids, teens, and adults from October through April. League registration opens September 15th with adult leagues starting on October 16th, and youth and high school leagues starting November 1st weekend. See the Hallmark Sports Club 2's website for details at hallmarksportsclub2.com. Hallmark remains Northwest Indiana's soccer hub for your 2014 season, their off season, so get in here and play at Hallmark Sports Club 2. That's at 8328 Colorado Street here in Maryville. We're going to bring on the skipper of the Chesterton Trojans, Jamie Sensabaugh. And Coach, thanks again for taking the time, and unbelievable, another season rolling around.
Where'd the summer go? It's over.
Gone. Your impressions of the World Cup? I know you said you wanted to win it on the questionnaire. So
we would have liked our chances. Not against Germany.
Yeah, boy,
the best team won.
They certainly did.
Tactically, they were the best team. They were focused. Obviously, they were fun to watch. A collection of world-class athletes with no prima donna, if you will.
Right.
Willing to share, and they were just a really fun team to watch. And think about it, the U.S. Energized this country as far as soccer. Once again, it just continues to keep growing. It's exciting to be a part of that in a small way. And we played pretty well against them.
Yes, we did, and definitely a good representation. I want to talk to you about the state of U.S. soccer here in a minute, but our Chesterton Boys segment is brought to us by our friends at the Whitey Insurance Agency. They've been serving Northwest Indiana's insurance needs since 1980. They're a family-owned and operated business, and Whitey Insurance offers coverage for auto, health, life, business, and more. Conveniently located at 762 South Calumet Road in Chesterton, Whitey Insurance is the region's #1 leader in friendly and prompt service. Call Whitey Insurance today at 219-926-3431. That's 219-926-3431. You can visit them on the web at whiteyinsurance.com. And what about the state of soccer now, Coach, in the United States, and going all the way up from the youth programs all the way up to Olympic development?
Just keeps growing, keeps getting bigger. The University of Michigan, the soccer game that was played there,
yep.
And some of the professional athletes there saying that was the largest crowd they've ever played in front of. That's impressive. I was in Millennium Park and along the lake shore in Chicago with my wife. Went to Lincoln Park, and everywhere I looked, people were wearing, I had to tell her, look, everywhere I looked, people were wearing soccer jerseys. So obviously, that's exciting to see. So it's fun. We're always going to be maybe have our own niche in the spectrum of sports in this country, but certainly more and more people playing, both boys and girls, and its popularity is only going to soar.
Well, you certainly got to be excited about this team coming back, Coach. You've got a lot of talent coming back. You do lose some really quality student athletes with John Ward, a guy that just had a lot of balance both offensively as well as distributing the soccer ball, and a lot of talent in between the pipes with Caleb Jimerick, who had just a phenomenal season for you, and then losing Mitch Winey in the back at the left fullback position. So what are some of the things you miss from those three young men, not only talent-wise but also leadership-wise?
Well, certainly John in particular played 4 years for us, as a freshman all the way through his senior year, so that experience is difficult to replace. Caleb, what can I say about him? I've always thought he's one of the better goalkeepers in this area, and both of them are continuing their career in college, so obviously they will get to keep playing. But Mitch Winey's at the United States Military Academy at West Point, so that tells you a lot about his leadership capability. So, we always go through this growing without these players that have moved on, but that's just kind of the nature of high school athletics. There comes a point in time when they have to graduate and they have to move on, and then we look to hopefully have people in a position to step in and replace them.
Well, speaking of kids that can step in and replace, the cupboard is certainly not bare for this particular program. A lot of kids, a good, again, solid senior class, and it's really been nice for you, Coach, and for the community. Every year it seems like you've got a nice, solid group of seniors, but then you've also got the juniors and the sophomores to fill in, and I'd like you to touch base on that and the momentum that the program has been able to develop.
Yeah, I think when you look at our conference and how competitive our conference is year in and year out, that Chesterton has been right there, speaks volumes for our program, and very proud of that. And our coaches have worked really hard, coaching staff, our community. We have a great soccer a rec team in our town, the Duneland Soccer Club, and they're very supportive, just a very supportive soccer community. Our JV, I think, has only lost one game in the last 3 years, so they just keep, thankfully for me as the head coach, they just keep coming to us, and then we have to make difficult decisions about where to insert them and who to play, and that's never easy, but that's a good problem to have.
Young man that's joining us is Travis Brooks, and give us an idea, a thumbnail sketch on what Travis brings to the pitch for you and what he's going to have to do to make the Trojans successful this year.
Travis is just an outstanding young man, both on the field and probably more importantly off the field. When you think about players that you want on your team that represent your team, Travis is one of those for us. I know that he takes a lot of pride in putting on his uniform and playing for Chesterton, and with that he brings expectations to his teammates, and as our center back this year, a phenomenal defender, he's got a lot of responsibility, especially with Caleb now being gone and a younger goalkeeper behind him, so he knows what to expect, and we've had a great summer and played a lot of good teams, and Travis has definitely been a part of our success up to this point.
Travis Brooks is going to join us here, a 4.2 grade point average, a two-sport athlete in soccer as well as baseball, a member of the National Honor Society. And Travis, first of all, let's touch base on that move from the fullback position to center back. What have been some of the, not only the physical adjustments that you've had to make, but also mentally as well?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's really tough without Mitch there now, because he was like such a senior and really really commanded the back well. So it's going to be hard to take his place again. But
how's things working out with the new keeper now? Who you been working with back there, and who do you see stepping up and filling the big shoes of Caleb?
Well, everyone has to step up. Jared definitely has stepped up as captain, and I'm going to try and do my best at back because I have to communicate a lot back there. So,
are you a guy that likes to kind of try to vocally verse yourself as a senior, or are you more of kind of just a guy that likes to lead by example?
I definitely like to lead by example. I'm not very vocal, but I'm trying to change that since that's what the position demands.
Yep, the center defensive position definitely demands that, Travis, that's for sure. Who's opened your eyes in the training camp of not only players that are your age, but maybe some of the younger players that you've been able to take a look at that could possibly fill Mitch's role there at the left fullback position, or else defensive central midfielder?
I really like Dayton there. I've played with him my whole life, so I definitely trust him there.
Yeah, and he's a guy that also came up offensively pretty big for you as well, with 3 goals on the season. And is there an open competition now, Coach, in between the pipes, or are you pretty much settled on who you're going to have in there?
Yeah, we're very confident in Joey Dishman.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, he's coming off of 2 JV seasons without a loss as their goalkeeper, and that I think is something that has given him experience. And honestly, we no reservations at all with him back there. So he's got our team's complete confidence, and I know he'll do a good job.
The conference, how do you see things shaping up? We just visited with LaPorte earlier. They got a boatload of people coming back. A lot of people overlook them. Valparaiso, of course, and, the defending state champions. So the list goes on and on.
As you know, anytime you overlook somebody in this conference, well, that will be the team that will end up beating you. So my job, obviously, always has been to try to convince the kids of that, that every time we take the field, especially in our conference, it's going to be a battle.
And always nice to go back to Culver Academy for you, too, I'd imagine.
Sure, yeah.
That'll be on September
Homecoming.
1st. Yeah. Now, will you guys actually play on Labor Day, or did that get moved? Or is that
normally that's the day we play. So is that what it says on our schedule? Because I haven't looked that far ahead. So, yeah, that's fine.
Continued success, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Travis, for taking the time and coming out. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Best of luck to the Trojans. We'll have them on against the Valparaiso Vikings on WEFM. And, again, we want to thank Winey Insurance for being our corporate partner of Chesterton Athletics on Regional Radio Sports. Our friendly at Winey Insurance Agency have been serving Northwest Indiana's insurance needs since 1980. They're a family-owned and operated business, and they offer coverage for auto, health, life, business, and more. They're conveniently located at 762 South Calumet Road in Chesterton. Winey Insurance is the region's #1 leader in friendly and prompt service. You can call Winey Insurance today at 219-926-3431. You can also visit them on the web at wineyinsurance.com. And we're going to bring on Brian Murray right now. He is the head coach of the girls team over at Wheeler High School. Make sure we switch these over here so I don't mess that up, Coach.
You're good.
Thanks very much for taking the time. And how are things going for the folks in Union Township so far?
Well, we're coming off of a couple good years, as you know.
Yes.
We lost a tough one in the semi-state to Lures, and we returned a good chunk of people. And they've worked hard. I think our conditioning is good. We've hit the weight room really well this summer. We're young. It always seems like when I'm here with you, Mike, we're always young. But we're young, and some of our experience is showing a little bit. But we went to Indiana State again this summer. We played 3 games there. We played Terre Haute North, Terre Haute South, beat both of them. We lost the state runner-up, Gibson Southern, down at Indiana State. We played Crown Point. We've played Lowell. So, we've really done, I think, our due diligence in July to try to prepare for what we're going to see in August.
Now, you've been around a long time in the game, both at Greencastle as well as at DePaul, and you've seen the change in the high school game and now playing more of a year-round game, whether it's indoor soccer or else these games that you're playing in different places. Do you think that's a good thing for the student-athletes? It obviously helps with team chemistry and being able to work with each other, but, boy, sometimes these kids need a break too, don't they?
Well, they do, Mike, and I think that many of the kids here at Wheeler, we're not club-heavy with our play. Some have played some club soccer, some clearly have not. We definitely have different levels. I think Indiana State for us, when Rob Cespedes introduced that idea to us to go down there from Valpo, it gives you a chance to see your team so people like Katie and Carly and others can get some experience early on in the summer. So when we open up and we start playing, we open with Hobart, but when we start playing early on, they've already played 5 varsity matches.
Right.
In July. So what do you expect? What's the tempo like? I think that's what really helps. I don't press them really, I don't push them that hard in the off season. Some are playing multiple sports, and they have lives outside of soccer. So I think that the summer is important to us, and as far as I'm concerned, this is the best summer we've had in the 3 years I've been here.
Senior leadership in the back is going to be missed with Christy Hansen along with Marissa Sosa moving on. Touch base on the experience of playing one of the perennial powerhouses, not only in soccer, but all sports in Fort Wayne Lures, and how you feel going through that experience at that advanced level of the tournament is going to help this group of kids.
Well, you were covering our game against Lures, and obviously, the Lafayette team went on and won the state title against Gibson Southern, who we saw this summer. We were overpowered against Lures. I mean, they just physically, they pounded on us, for 80 minutes. It was a 1-0 game, and I think we did a lot of things well, and we've committed ourselves to the weight room more this summer. We're clearly stronger than we were last year. Our conditioning level is good. But anything, if you're trying to build a program, you're trying to get to where you want to go, playing games on that kind of a stage are important for these guys, and, they responded well, in my opinion.
Well, one of the fine student athletes that's going to join us here is Katie Reif. She's a sophomore, number 1 in her class of 135 with a 4.123 grade point average. And Katie, obviously, academics very important to you and the whole scheme of things over at Wheeler High School. And touch base, talked to a lot of the other student athletes about that balancing act between coaches' expectations and your teachers' expectations in the classroom, and how you're able to keep that all together.
Well, it's a lot of time management. Like, it depends. Every day is different with homework. So if I have a lot of homework, I'll get it done when I can, and I just won't goof off in class, or I'll try to get it done before practice. And I mean, some nights I have to stay up late and do homework, but for me, it's not too difficult. Murray he understands. He's a teacher himself. He understands that us as girls, we have to keep that balance, and he'll help us out. And if we do have finals the next day or something, he'll maybe cut practice short a little bit. But when he does cut practice short, the time in practice, we really go hard and we really give it our all.
Now, you have to be really excited about this midfield. I mean, you got everybody back, and this is a very talented group of student athletes. So talk about your teammates in that midfield, how you guys work together and produce offense for Lauren and Tara up top.
Well, I played at UT soccer when we were younger in elementary school and middle school with Tara and Kelly and them. And so I'm used to playing with them. And then now being in high school, it's kind of like back then, except obviously a lot more intense. But it just, the chemistry is there. We know where each other's going to be. And if we're not there, we help each other out. And so all of us are very understanding of each other. And it's easy. We're so used to playing with each other, even though I'm a freshman.
The outside mid, what do you see as far as the role on that? Are you going to stay there? Are is coach going to be moving you around a little bit?
He tried me as middle, like center mid, and I'm more comfortable outside, and I think that's what I'm best at.
Very good. And we're going to bring on Carly Lancaster as well. She's another one of the sophomores over at Wheeler High School. And Carly, how's the preseason conditioning been? Coach sounds like he's kind of changed the focus a little bit from the finesse part of it to more of the strength and conditioning part of it. How's that been going for you?
It's been going really good, actually. We've been hitting on the weight room a lot more than we did last season. And I feel like we hit the track a lot more, too. And we go a lot harder during the track. But last season, we hardly ever went in the weight room, and when we did, we kind of messed around. But now we're really getting down to business, and we're actually working really hard this year.
Now, how cool is it for you, being a freshman last year, seeing the success that this team was able to generate in the school, in the community, traveling with the team, going to the semi-state, and even years before that when you were in grade school, and being able to know to be a part of that now?
Well, when I was in middle school, I would sometimes go to the games, the girls' games, before I was even on the team. And I would just see how, they all worked together and how fast-paced the game was. And I never imagined myself being in the game that I am now. But my freshman year, definitely going to semi-state, that was just crazy. And then winning regionals, that was, you never would have imagined it. It was really cool.
What does Coach have planned for you this season, and what do you need to work on to fulfill his expectations?
I definitely think, I play sweeper, so I definitely think that I need to work on being more aggressive and going after the ball more. There's a lot to work on, but so far, for being this far into the season already, I think we're doing pretty good.
How difficult is it in that position as a sweeper to figure out how best to communicate with your keeper? Some players, they just know where each other's going to be just from playing for a long period of time, and then sometimes you're thrown into a situation with a different player. You don't know their tendencies in certain parts of the game. How difficult is that to get that line of communication that you're looking for with Katie in the back?
Well, being a sweeper, it's a lot of communicating, and Katie has gotten a lot better with being vocal because she's usually really quiet, but she's gotten a lot better since freshman year. Usually she lets me know every time she's available, But the outsides, we just stress to them to stay wide, and then Emily Jackson, who is our stopper, she's always a good help, so she always helps us out.
Coach, that right side of the defense with Christy and Marissa is obviously a concern for kids to fill those roles. Who do you see right now possibly stepping up besides Carly to fill those roles for you?
We're definitely working in progress on the defense. Maddie Crowder obviously returns, and she kind of anchors any type of a one-on-one matchup that we're going to go with defensively. And our team knows that, and I know other teams know that as well. Emily Jackson, like Carly referenced, is important. Carly's important to what we're doing. Caitlin Asher is an incoming freshman. We've got other freshmen. Really, we are really looking to see who our third and fourth defenders are going to be back there. I think Emily and Maddie are, without question, very important to what we do. Carly's important. Like I said, Caitlin and others. So I think that's the one part that we're trying to really figure out right now. I think our attack's pretty good. Mary and Macy Zeitler, who have come in from the South Bend area, are going to give us a noticeable lift on the field. And Mary being very versatile in what she's able to do for us across the board. At the end of the day, we're young, and like I said before, we say this every year, but I think that our better days are ahead of us. I think we might have a couple hiccups early on, but I think by the time we get to the tournament, our roles will be clearly defined, and I think that we're going to be very confident in what we're doing.
Well, Coach, congratulations on developing a terrific program over at Wheeler High School. Not only on the field but off the field, the kids just have done a great job in carrying the tradition of Bearcats athletics, and got a great athletic director, Randy Stelter, running things over there. Does a great job for you as well, and continued success. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to bring a couple of the games to the Wheeler community this year.
Absolutely. When you bring these two, like these guys right here, to the table, my job's pretty easy most of the time. So we got great people over there.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, Mike.
Appreciate it. Thanks, ladies,
Thank
very
you.
much for your time. Appreciate it. Carly Lancaster joining us, along with the fine outside midfielder Katie Reif, here at Hallmark Sports Club 2. Again, they're soccer home for the winter, and Hallmark operates indoor soccer leagues for kids, teens, and adults from October through April. League registration opening September the 15th, with adult leagues starting on October the 16th, and youth and high school leagues starting on November 1st weekend. See the Hallmark Sports Club 2's website for details at www.hallmarksportsclub2.com. Hallmark remains Northwest Indiana soccer hub through your off season, so get in here and play. We also want to thank the great folks over at J&J's Pizza Shack. They are located in Valparaiso. We want to thank them for providing the pizza pie for our student athletes out here today. And our corporate sponsor, Calumet College of St. Joseph's. They have the lowest tuition of any private college in Indiana, offering traditional programs with flexible class schedules, accelerated programs to help adults earn their bachelor's degree in as little as 12 months, and master's programs specifically designed for working adults. Some classes are also offered at the University Center in Portage. Make CCSJ your university of choice. For more information, call 219-473-4215 or check out their website at www.ccsj.edu. We're going to bring on John Hutchins right now, the head coach of the Hobart Brickies, fresh off the car wash earlier today, Coach. No rest for the weary, huh?
No, sir.
Well, talk about the program right now. You got to be really excited. A boatload of kids coming back. You talked about last year being a building year for the program, and it appears just, at least on paper, we know that's certainly not worth a hill of beans. You got to do it on the pitch, but it certainly appears to be a good springboard year for you coming up in 14.
Oh, yeah, I think that we only lost one senior from the varsity, so we got a boatload of kids coming back that play together for a year. We got 7 juniors and 7 seniors on the varsity field, and the competition level within is going to be great. they're going to fight and they're going to work hard for their positions, and that's a really good thing for this program.
Yes, it is, Coach. No doubt about that. I know we touched base about 3 years ago or so, and talking about the fact that the depth wasn't there, and that you had situations where kids were not being challenged to be able to keep those roles, and that's got to be really neat. Not only, as you mentioned, from a competitive standpoint, you can actually scrimmage, you can actually see where you're at, even during practice week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've just finished our conditioning for 2 days, done a couple of practices, and Monday's good because now we're going to start getting in there and digging out the problems that we're going to have and working on the stuff to fix. And I've never seen more excitement at this team than there is with this group of kids.
Yeah, you guys got such a tremendous facility over there as well at Hobart High School, and a great athletic director and Bob Glover to help you move things along in the program. And besides the two young men that you brought out here today, who's also been opening eyes during training camp for you?
Oh, geez. We got a lot of kids. I don't want to start naming kids because I don't want to leave anybody out, but you can ask these two guys. These guys all grew up, and they haven't been together for a while, and the bonding is coming, the chemistry, what I was worried about. They've proven that in the last few days big time. So I'm not worried about the chemistry anymore.
No, and I know we saw you guys a couple times last year, and some players that were put into roles as a substitute that came in. They stepped up. They got that valuable experience that you needed. I know the couple of kids that I see on the list here with Greg Gill, a midfielder who stepped up. Carter Gibson ended up being a second-team all-conference performer for you. Todd Burns, another guy that's going to be looked to for senior leadership this season. Hank Pimentel, also first-team all-conference player who did a great job of distributing the ball for you as well as putting the ball in the onion sack. So, you've got a lot of that going on, and I would imagine also some younger kids that are going to be able to get some valuable JV experience as well.
With juniors and seniors, we're only about 3 deep on the sophomore side, and there's a player that played a lot last year, and I don't know if that's going to work out for him this year, because the juniors and seniors have worked so hard that, and he's a good player, don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. So if he doesn't get on the field, that's good for us, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely, more depth. So introduce the two young men you brought with you here today, and why did you choose them to represent Hobart High School?
Well, Vince is a second-year captain. I had one senior captain, so I picked 2 juniors last year, and Plezak was one, but Plezak's doing 2 sports, so he's busy. And then KJ's our second-year goalie. I've never seen a goalie as quick as this young man. And he's got hands from baseball, and he said he'd step in for Plezak, so he's not shy of the camera, I guess.
Well, let's bring on KJ Aluska right now. 119 saves. He was certainly a busy man last year. Had a great goals against average for all those stops at 3.43, and the Mental Attitude Award winner as well. And KJ discussed last year going through the program and some growing pains, obviously, last year with the conference and, the defense trying to mold back there. But discuss going through that as a junior now and how that's going to make you a better keeper this year.
Last year was it was a good year in progress because we cut down the goals allowed in half, and so that's a good thing to look at. But we still also allowed in a lot of goals, and so we've made progress. And our defense this year is all seniors, and we're looking to allow in a lot less, and it should be a way better year this year.
KJ, what do you think is the difference between allowing shots and actually allowing goals? Is it a situation of trying to keep the offense a little bit more to the outside when they're coming into the offensive third? Is it maybe getting a little bit better communication with your sweeper and your stopper? What can be that differentiation that can keep the ball at the net for you?
Recent years, our defense has been kind of slower almost, and we were still kind of forming, getting just the communication and the togetherness. And then this year, again, we got a new sweeper. Our defense is all returning, all seniors, and we just look faster, more comfortable with each other, and that should help everything.
Yeah, communication is definitely key in the back line. And talk a little bit about PLTW Biomed. What's that all about? And, being a 3.9 student, I would imagine that could possibly be something in your future academia.
Yeah, it's just a medical field, college course kind of. A lot of online, just researching, getting aware and stuff for the medical field and getting ready for college.
Outstanding. Great job, KJ. And we're going to bring on Vince right now. Vince Olmos is going to join us, also doing a great job, and defensive MVP of this team as well. And Vince, what's it like playing in the back line with that guy back there, knowing that maybe if you don't quite get the job done, you got somebody back there that can help you out?
Well, the thing with me and KJ is, we've known each other since we were little. So a lot of these guys I've played with, we've all grown up together. So it's kind of cool to, go through our high school years of soccer and playing together. And sometimes we'll get mad at each other, but we always figure out a way to find out what we need to get to be doing.
Now you guys are in that tough Northwest Crossroads Conference. You got a team in there that ended up in the semi-state in Andrean. The list goes on. And Hobart, they certainly don't shy away from non-conference opponents. They go at the Dumoulin Athletic Conference as well. See a lot of games here that could have gone either way in last year. What do you think was what are some of the things this year that you can work on both mentally and physically to take some of those losses and turn them into wins?
Like Coach said, this year we've got a lot of depth. I think maybe last year we didn't have the confidence maybe, or we didn't have the prior knowledge to players that are returning to actually finish out games. We needed fresh legs, which we always didn't have. And I think this year it's exciting to be playing for Hobart. We got a lot of good things going for us, and I think the sky's the limit.
Give us an analysis of that back line. How do you think things are going to shape up back there? And also, how are you guys going to make that transition from defense to offense into the midfield?
Well, we've been working a lot on moving the ball, switching the field. I think maybe that might have been one of the things that we struggled with last year. I think this year it's a focus point that we've been working on. And, we got Plezak back there. We got two good backs. And myself. So I think with our chemistry now that we've been playing together the past few years now, I think it's really going to go good.
How has Coach Hutchins changed the mindset of Hobart soccer?
We love him down there. We're excited to always play with him. He's always got a great attitude. He gets the players going. He's just a fun guy to be around. He's personable. We can't get enough of him.
I like him too.
Coach, we go back, don't we?
Now, analyze the conference for us. How do you think things shape up here for the NWCC?
Well, I'm out of touch with all these kids because my boys are all out of school now, and that's my youngest one right there. And these guys, I listen to these guys talk about all the players, and names don't mean anything to me because I don't know them. So I just kind of do what I always do. I get a chance to go see a game of the team we're playing. That's what I do. I spend a lot of time in soccer. My wife loves me for it. You know that.
Well, right now I see a real key stretch here. You've got 5 consecutive road games in about a 2-week period after you start with 3 of the first 4 at home. That could be a challenge for you.
Yeah, I think the main thing is these guys have got the right idea. They're focusing on Andrean. And that's the way you got to go, one game at a time.
Yep.
And that's going to be a real big test for us at the beginning of the season.
It will be. It's going to be a key conference.
But they're ready.
As well.
They want it. They want it bad. So that's all that matters.
Continued success, guys. We appreciate it, Hutch. Appreciate everything.
Sure.
KJ, best of luck in between the pipes this year. Thanks again, Coach.
All right,
We'll see you down the road. John Hutchins joining us here from Hobart High School with the purple and gold. And they are joining us right now, and we're going to be moving on. You going to come on in? All right.
First off.
Yeah, because we have that break right now, right?
Michigan City haven't.
Sure, no problem.
So I was just saying we could talk to fill a little bit of time before we cut break because we're going to cut at 5. Before Calumet, we could just talk a little bit about how the show's going and kind of preview the next season, if you will, of high school soccer here in Northwest Indiana.
Yeah, we're also excited as well, Adam, about our partnerships as well with Ancilla College, with soccer coming up in Donaldson, Indiana, and working those games, and of course with Holy Cross and with Bethel. I know we're adding soccer to the dais on the college end of things with the Pilots as well, so kind of getting a little bit of an overall view of soccer, not only in the high school level, but as well as the college level of things. And, when you got a defending state champion on the high school side of things that a lot of the boys' programs can look up to, and, of course, the girls, Valparaiso getting to the semi-state last year, and Wheeler getting to the semi-state last year, and 2 and 1A respectively. A lot of things to look forward to in Northwest Indiana.
Well, and I think a lot of things to look forward to in the sport of soccer in general, Mike. I mean, you look at this past World Cup and the fact that the U.S. made it into the qualifying round, into the quarterfinals, made a little bit further than a lot of people expected. No one expected them to come out of the quote-unquote group of death that they were in with Portugal and Germany as well, but they held their own. Probably you can make the argument that they should have won that group had Ronaldo not put that perfect cross over the field and the header into the net. We would have beat Portugal and went on to win the group. But I think it's just a great thing to see the sport of soccer grow here in America as you look at the youth soccer, and I know I played when I was younger with soccer and kind of stopped playing as I got more towards the high school level, but it's a great thing to see all these young kids, young student athletes come in and really be excited about the sport, and I think that's going to bode well for America in the future with future World Cups as well.
And we've got professional soccer as well on the dais, as the Chicago Fire have partnered with us with a ticket giveaway, and we want to thank them for partnering with us on that. We've got multiple games of tickets that we're trying to give away as well, and we can do so at 219-746-1070.
How many tickets we've given away so far, Mike?
So far, we've given away 8. We've had 2 games of 4 tickets apiece. I still need John Manis, I believe, to give us his address. He picked up the tickets. He knew that Frank Yallop was the head coach of the Chicago Fire. So, John, if you're watching the program, give us a text at 219-746-1070. Give us your address, and we can get those tickets out to you. And, just a terrific year coming up this year in Northwest Indiana. I think, Adam, changing of the guard as it is every year. You get a lot of seniors that move on, but it always seems to be younger players to fill those roles.
Well, and even with kind of going back off the professional soccer, how about the new Indiana team as well here locally in the state of Indiana, getting an MLS team of their own, so definitely a lot of growth. But I agree with you, Mike. These young student athletes doing a great job on the field, but not only on the field, in the classroom as well. I was listening to some of these GPAs that you're talking on the air, and they're pretty impressive, something that I would have loved to have as a high school student myself.
Well, you add up in the 4 years and you get there, type of thing. But,
exactly. Multiply by 2 at the end.
Exactly.
That type of thing.
But, 4 tickets we gave away to the August 10th game against New York, and then John Manis, he texted in with 4 tickets for the FC Dallas matchup on August the 30th. Right now we are going to give away another 4 tickets for the September 13th game against Toronto FC. So this is September the 13th, 4 tickets for the game over Toyota Park in Bridgeville, Illinois, for the game against Toronto FC. And the trivia question is, who is the goalkeeper for the Chicago Fire? Who plays between the pipes for Coach Yallop and the Chicago Fire? 219-746-1070, and you can get those 4 tickets for the game against Toronto FC on September the 13th. And don't miss your chance to get your fix of live Major League Soccer this year. The Chicago Fire Soccer Club has just 6 home games remaining in the 2014 regular season. See the men in red take on Thierry Henry and Tim Cahill's New York Red Bulls on Sunday, August the 10th. That's tomorrow, as well as FC Dallas online. That'll be on Saturday, August the 30th. Tickets are available by calling 888-MLS Fire or online at chicago-fire.com. The Chicago Fire live at Toyota Park in Bridgeview. Chicago Fire is Chicago soccer, and Chicago soccer is Chicago Fire. Adam?
And Mike, I just saw Tony take a nice bite of his cheese pizza behind the camera there. Made me remind our listeners about J.J.'s Pizza Shack. For great tasting pizza, you must try J&J's Pizza Shack, located at 1454 West Lincoln Way, 1 mile west of the square in Valparaiso. They offer a variety of great tasting pizza, including their famous kitchen sink. Did you have pizza yesterday? Well, then their menu also includes sandwiches, seafood, rib, chicken dinners, and salads. Dine-in, carry-out, and delivery is available in the local area. For delivery, give J&J's Pizza Shack a call at 476-1616. That's 476-1616. Same menu, still great taste.
Also, we want to thank Scott Hankins, Jason Kandera, and everybody here over at Hallmark Sports Club 2 in Maryville for hosting the 21st annual Preseason Soccer Kickoff Classic here, 8328 Colorado Street. You can check them out on the web at hallmarksportsclub2.com. Adam, I'm going to have you sit in here and do the interview with Stephanie Deege and the folks over at Michigan City. So I'm going to have you take over the big seat over here. And let me get you squared away here with the Lady Wolves. Appreciate them making the long trip over here from East. And they will be competing in the Duneland Conference this season. And I'm going to send it over now to Adam Demery, and he'll continue on with the Duneland Athletic Conference on the girls' side of things. Adam?
All right, Mike, thank you very much. As we welcome in the Michigan City girls soccer team, headed up by head coach Stephanie Deege. And, Coach, thanks for joining us here. We'll get you headphones set up. All right, let's see here. Take that sheet from you there real quick. All right, Coach, welcome to the program. And how's the summer going? How's the team looking here for next year?
Real good. We've been working hard all summer. We've got lots of returners, which is great for us. We don't have a whole lot of overturn. We only lost 3 seniors last year, 4 seniors. So we have an old team, which is kind of nice to start off with.
Well, you guys finished off the season 7-9-1 overall, 2-5 in the conference. Just kind of give us a brief overview of last season and what you kind of brought away from that season into the off season and looking forward to this year.
Yeah, last season we improved dramatically over 2012, so that was nice. And we had a lot more offense last year than we did the year before, and for this year it's even better offensively for us. We have a really strong forward line, which in the past we've tend to work with 1 forward at a time, really, and this year we have probably 3 real solid starting forwards, so we're in real good shape.
Well, and you talk about how you have a little bit of experience coming back, which is always nice. But let's talk about the shoes that need to be filled in terms of the seniors that you're losing. You have obviously Amanda, Aaron, Michelle, and then Paige as well. Talk about what they brought to the program and how you're going to fill those holes.
Well, Paige is tough because she was our keeper, so that's always a hard position to fill. We have Brooke King, who's coming up behind her, and she really followed in Paige's footsteps well. They worked together really well. They trained hard last season, and so Brooke's done really well so far. We haven't been tested yet, but in practice she's looked really, really good. Aaron and Amanda, they were kind of just together, like nice little crew of leaders, and sure. Aaron was kind of like our player coach, so losing her was tough. Amanda was just a real nice kid, worked hard all the time. And so it's going to be hard to not have them on the field, but we have some really key players that have stepped up from last year to take those positions over.
When you look at the conference last year and how it shaped up the Duneland, always a very tough conference. You obviously had Valparaiso, Chesterton, other teams. How does the conference look this year? I mean, is it just going to be exactly how it was last year? And it's just going to be a challenge.
I think so.
Year in and year out?
We don't really ever have any, fun DAC games. They're always tough, and that's okay. We know that going in, and we know that we need to prepare for those. And I think coming from last year, we did have 2 wins, which is that's good, and we'd like to get a couple more. So we're going to focus on those that were close for us last year and see where we can go. And get a few more wins in the conference.
When with that experience, I would imagine then those types of situations, those close game situations where maybe some of the experience showed last year should probably help and bode well for you this year as well.
Absolutely. I mean, we have the girls. They get to know the other teams, and some of them play club with each other in the off season, and they know what to look for and they know who to look out for, and I think that helps us a lot.
All right, well, let's talk about the three young ladies that you brought with us here today. Who are they? And give us a little bit of a preview on what we can see from these three young girls.
I have three senior captains with me today. I have Jenna Gloy, Emily Ray, and Marissa Tilden, and they are fantastic young ladies, two midfielders, and Jenna is a defender, and their leadership has been fantastic. You know, they stepped up all summer. They've been there. They've worked with the girls. They've just, really come to the forefront of the team this year, and I'm really excited to have them as captains.
All right, well, we'll start with Marissa, and you're going to be a senior this year, 3.0 GPA, one of the captains. Talk about how you're balancing things on and off the field.
Well, with the job, it is hard, but I give soccer my whole dedication, so I think I'm doing pretty good.
And would you define yourself more as a vocal leader or someone who leads by example?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Try and mix it up and try and keep everybody on their toes. I also see you have some perfect attendance here. You have that written down on your sheet. Obviously, it's a big thing to have the student part of the student-athlete title. And just talk about your classes, what's going on at school, and what you're excited about this year.
Well, out of everything, I think school comes first and then sports. And to be good in sports, I mean, you got to be, up on your game for school and stuff. So, yeah. Thanks,
and you're also involved in the Spanish club. Talk about that. What you guys are doing, and what the club's all about.
Well, for Spanish club, it's every Thursday. Well, it was every Thursday, and we just go in and we learn a little bit more than what we do in class, and then we do some activities,
Let's getting back to on the field, though, for your team. Obviously, Coach just mentioned a lot of experience coming back. Obviously, three senior captains here with us today, yourself included. Talk about what the team's doing in the off season, how conditioning's going, and how excited you are for the season this year as well.
Yeah, well, I'm very excited, and I think that we lost a lot of good players, three, but I think we're probably since we gained a really good player, Maggie Mellon, and then we have us. We're pretty good. I think we're going to be really good this season.
All right, we'll switch things over here to Emily now. And Emily, you are a multiple sport athlete, soccer as well as gymnastics. Talk about that aspect of your life and how they kind of help each other out in their own regard.
Yeah, soccer and gymnastics, they're both really different sports, but I like them both because you have to have that leadership in them. With gymnastics is more of a solo kind of sport, but soccer is more of a team, and I like that both. Soccer, it's mental, but so is gymnastics, but they both even each other out, and I like them both. It's kind of difficult because you have to even out sports and school, and then I also work too, so it's kind of hard, but I can do it.
And talking about how your leadership on the field is more vocal leader, or do you lead by example, and how you kind of juggle that as well?
I think I'm both as well. I like to lead as example just by showing the girls that everyone makes mistakes, including all of us older girls. I might miss a goal or a shot way off, but everyone misses those, and it's those that make you better as a player and a leader. But vocal, you just want to show a good example and always being positive on your team, even if the score is 10-0.
When you're on the field and you're as you said, you're trying to keep your head up, keep all the team's morale. What's the toughest part for you as being named the captain of the team?
The hardest part would probably be not letting my frustration show. Just keeping my head up, and everyone, if someone's running around with their head down, not doing their best, just give them a little pat on the back and be we can do this, stick through the game and play as hard as you can the whole way.
And also part of the Spanish club, yearbook club, and steering committee. Talk a little bit about what you're involved in school and how that's going.
I like to be involved in school a lot. It just helps me keep busy so I don't stray off from my academics. It keeps me in line with getting my homework done. It makes me plan out a schedule, and being in all the clubs keeps me within everything.
What on the field? What is maybe the one thing you're working on specifically during this off season to add to your game?
During the off season, I've been running a lot. I've been trying to keep my endurance up and becoming like faster and more of foot skills, so I can make my way up to the goal and try and shoot.
Okay, well, let's have Jenna here pick up that stick mic there, and that way we don't have to pass the headset around. And Jenna, let's talk about your leadership skills on this team as one of the captains as well.
Well, leading the team, it's motivation, like vocals, like it's everything to boost their attitude up to make them win and succeed in the game. You have to do it like on the field and off the field, so they can like always keep it in their mind.
Let's talk about some individual goals as well. I know that as a team you guys are trying to improve on last year, but talk about some individual goals for you that you're working on.
My goals for this year, my senior year, like to score, even though I'm a defender. Try to play forward, I guess. Keep doing what I do best. Lead the team.
All right. Well, Stephanie, thank you very much for your time. Girls, best of luck this year, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That was the Michigan City girls team joining us here at the Hallmark Sports Club. And once again, we want to thank our sponsors, including J&J's Pizza Shack. For great tasting pizza, you must try J&J's Pizza Shack, located at 1454 West Lincoln Way, 1 mile west of the square in Valparaiso. They offer a variety of great tasting pizza, including their famous kitchen sink. Did you have pizza yesterday? Their menu also includes sandwiches, seafood, rib, chicken dinners, and salads. Dine-in, carry-out, and delivery is available in the local area. For delivery, give J&J's Pizza Shack a call at 476-1616. That's 476-1616. Same menu, still great taste. We're going to take another break here. We're going to cut the feed for a little bit, so just stay with us here as we are live from the Hallmark Sports Club right here in Maryville, Indiana. We'll be right back on the Regional Radio Sports Network.